Hi guys, it was more drama in the Big Brother house again. Why don't we just go ahead and get started? And before I do, I just wanted to comment on Big Brother out Unlocked. That's what it is. They're doing it again, and it's driving me crazy. They're talking that nonsense about Devon's play. They're acting as if Devon's is doing something outstanding in the Big Brother house when he really isn't. What was it that they said? They said that he had a masterful, was it masterful or mastermind? Whichever one it was incorrect either way. They were saying he had a masterful move, but he didn't have a masterful move. I mean, all he did was use the power that America gave him, or better yet, we can say that Big Brother, Big Brother in this case, that Big Brother had given him. That boy didn't do anything, or should I say man, he didn't do anything out of the ordinary or extravagant. That's what he got the power for. It would be stupid of him not to use it to his advantage. It was supposed to be something to aid in better positioning the alliance that he was in. So he did the right thing in using it. And also, that little bit he did in front of the camera stating his thought out plan, that was just totally staged. It sounded staged. It looked staged. And I guess a better word for it, it was totally scripted. It's like Big Brother gave him or coached him or prompted him on what he should say. Because it just seemed, it didn't seem authentic to me. And I didn't see authenticity in that at all. All of a sudden they all talking onto the camera about what they doing conveniently after you have all this out in the news about them catering to the icons. So now they want it to look like we're supposed to be boo-boo fool and realize that these things that they're saying in front of the camera is supposed to be their ideas. Absolutely, positively not. I'm on to you, CBS. I'm on to you, Big Brother. Anyway, also dealing with the Big Brother Unlocked, Taylor's comment on Unlocked, not Taylor in the game, but past winner Taylor. She'd make me guess why in the world or how in the world did you win Big Brother thinking the way she thinks. I mean, she sat up there saying that it was crazy for, no, she said it was necessary to get Camus out. Camus, whatever his name is, Camus out. No, in Haley's word. No. First order of business was to get the icons out, and that's exactly what should have been done. That should have been the most urgent over getting a newbie out of the house. The newbie should have been banding together so that most definitely one of them would have been getting winning the $750,000 and not some so-called icon from Survivor or some so-called icon from the past of Big Brother who didn't deserve the win at all. Anyway, and I totally disagree with America stating that Yash was the dumbest player. Of course, they didn't put it that way, but stating him to be the dumbest player last week. How is that possible? The man played a phenomenal game. He did the right thing in the people that he put up the nominations. It's not his fault that, here we go again, Big Brother, Paramount, CBS catered to the icons, catered to, and I hate saying icons, but icons, and catered to the survivors. Because if it was not for that power that he got, that he didn't deserve, that I'm sure he didn't get on his own, Yash's game would have been good. His move, his head of household would have been very successful. It would have been something he could have used on his resume. And in my opinion, if he makes it to the end, I would still use it to my advantage. And I would just say, if it were not for, it has to be the way you present it to the jury house to help them to understand that you made a good move, right? But anyway, I think he also nailed it. I'm talking about Yash. He nailed it right on the head when he called Drew a spineless boy fanism, I think it was he said, over Devon's and D. I mean, he even said it today on the this week's episode, today's episode, how he's nervous around D. Why? She's human just like you. She's a newbie just like you. You guys are the ones putting this icon crap on them. And I feel like it was crazy for them to say that about Yash, by the way, because, I mean, it's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Yash is the only one, the first one to get up there and take care of business. He's the one who did the darn thing by putting three, well, did he put three up? No, by putting at least two of those icons, so-called icons, up on the block. Kudos to him. It would have been better if he would have put all three of them up, because guess what? If he would have did that, then Devon's would have used it on himself, and D would have still been right up there with Angela, and that would have been a better scenario. But I'm okay with him doing it the way he did. He was trying to honor one of the part of the alliance, because I really did get, like I mentioned in the last video, why he put D up on the block. Because D put him up on the block, tit for tat. Oh well, that's the name of the game sometimes, point blank. Anyway, that was it on Big Brother Unlocked. But moving on to today's episode. First off, like I suspected, the competition was definitely the HOH competition was definitely catered to D. I know it's a competition that Big Brother has had before in the past, but they chose the right one to make sure that it was catered to D, because that was some Survivor-like competition. And anybody that watches Survivor knows that is a true statement. That's something that a Survivor, especially someone like D, who has won Survivor twice, she would have done well on that competition, just like they catered to Angela by using the little air ball competition. The girl had just said she wished they would do it, and voila, they did it so she can win. Point blank, in a nutshell. It is so obvious that Big Brother is playing the game, not just allowing the newbies to play the game. Anyway, I do think Yash was smart to take that bribe from D this time, because it was a way to better his game. If he would not have taken that, just like D said, D would have put him up. Granted, he would have had two opportunities, or maybe just one, depending on when she decided to put him up on the block. He would have had ample enough time to get himself an opportunity to take himself off the block. But why chance it when you don't have to? Who wants to go on the block? You know, if you could prevent yourself from going on the block, do so. And while making $5,000 at the same time that you already passed up once. And I could see him doing it anyway, because he feels like he passed it up the first time, and I'm sure he felt like, I should have just went on ahead and took the bribe. I personally feel like, no, you did the right thing by not taking a bribe the first time, because guess what? You flushed out the powers. Otherwise, the powers would still be in play and buying them more time in the game, and you don't want that, even though they had a time limit on there. But still, get it out of there. Just get that power out of the game now, so you guys could start plucking them off one by one if you can. Hopefully you all can. And I will tell you guys a little later, towards the end of the video, on how he can work around that bribe, because trust me, there's a way he can do that. Again, America gives the time capsule to the wrong person, unless, like I thought with Melody, unless they were hoping he would get a punishment. He didn't get a punishment, but yay, he also didn't get a great power. And I'm happy about that, because he did not need any type of power that will save him from being evicted if it works that way. And again, the way I'm thinking, it could actually work that way. Now, I look at Barrett and how he's being suspicious of Dee now because of her wanting to get put Drew up on the block, possibly taking Drew out. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. But I am so curious if he will make the necessary adjustments. Now, he's different. This is somebody else. So far, everybody in the house has not been making adjustments. They see things occurring or happening, and they don't bother to make the necessary adjustments with their game to ensure that they're sitting pretty in the house. There I go again. But I don't know. I want to know if he will make adjustments in his loyalties. All we can do is wait and see. And lastly, I do want to comment on Drew, how he definitely proved Yash correct when Yash called him a spineless fanism. I don't know, whatever he called him. It was something to that effect, the fanism. I know he called him a spineless boy, but I think he had that behind it, fanism or something. I'm not sure, and I didn't rewind it to find out. But he did prove himself to be, if not only a spineless boy, but a low down spineless boy, by telling that flat out lie on that girl like that. And you could tell he was lying by the way he looked when he did it, you know. And they didn't expect that from her. I'm telling y'all, I think the longer Taylor stay in that game, if people keep testing that girl, she is going to blow, and it will not be good. I'm telling you. Quiet people, you don't want to poke like that. You don't want to see that side of them. I'm one of those type people. You know, doing these videos, it might not seem like it, but in person, I am. And I'm one of those type people. I can take. But baby, don't be that one that finally break the camel's back on me. You do not want to be that one. I do a great job in masking it, and I'm sure it's because of my spirituality. But sometimes we can't help what comes out because it's impulse, right? So you work and you work and you work and try not to let it out and hope that nobody really tries you and try and bring it out of you. I don't even know why people would want to do that. But I can totally get Taylor's actions today on tonight's episode. The girl said in the live feeds yesterday that she's too real for this game. And what she means by that is trying to play the game honest, you know, telling the truth, which I must admit, been noticing nothing but truth out of her mouth. You know what I mean? So, but I think even though I understand her getting riled up, I still feel like she has to take her own words of wisdom to heart. The same words she keeps trying to talk to Lala about. Because if you're in the Big Brother house, you can't allow someone to get you so frustrated and flustered. You have to keep your cool in that game, because you cannot conquer the bull or all the lies if you blow up. It just makes you look guilty. You know how people think. They say, well, if you're they feel like that's compensating or whatever. But if you blow up, it's because you're guilty of something, you know. She just has to calm down and be methodical in her words and in her questions that she asked him. Man, I would have been all over Drew after he did that, but in a very calm and collected way. And that's another thing I have about me. You know, cool, calm, collected, under pressure, things like that. So you don't want to play with Shell, baby. No. One of those type people who would win an argument almost all the time. Anyway, something I did notice at the end, this is the last thing here, is before I give you that little recap. Something I did notice was that Haley was laughing at the lie that Drew told, and at Taylor's reaction. Now, I found that very ironic, very, I don't know how to put it, but I guess it's okay for her to laugh at someone's pain. But when Taylor did it, remember when Jason was banging the pots and she was laughing? And not only was Taylor laughing, other people were laughing too. And that was the bogus reason that she claimed was why she put Taylor up on the block. Girl, bye. Get a life. As a matter of fact, get several lives. Because she's doing the exact same thing. If she's claiming, that means somebody should be putting her up on the block because she's laughing. Or Taylor, when she gets at a household, need to put her on the block. But then again, don't worry about Haley. Just go ahead. If you get Haley household the next time, Taylor, put all three of those icons up on the block so that one of them goes home. Preferably, it's either D or Devon's. Those are the two that has to go out first. Then first and second, then get Angela out, then get Haley out. As a matter of fact, you could even get Haley out before you get Angela out, but I guess it would be better to get Angela out since she's been in the game before. And we just don't want nobody like that coming and getting the money. You had your chance. This is just her second time, but she had her chance. You didn't capitalize on it then. Don't come on my turn and try to capitalize on it now. You should have took care of business the first time around. Bam. Now be gone. Get out of my house. And I just feel like they need to do that. And then after that, so let me tell you what needs to happen before I go. Number one, Taylor needs to win the Big Brother blockbuster and take herself off the block, so that it's left with well, no, she can't win that first. First, what they need to do once Lala takes herself off the block, they need to put a renom up there. I don't know if it's going to be Mallory or, because I didn't see who that was. Mallory, I know the plan is Mallory because on Saturday's live feeds, that's what Dee was talking about. Dee wanted to put up Mallory. She wanted Drew to get the blockbuster so that he could take himself off and it'd be between Mallory and Taylor. And then she wanted Mallory to be evicted out of the house. But I'm hoping that, yes, Lala takes herself off the block, use the veto on herself. Then I want her to put Mallory or Haley up for renom. It would be better if she put Haley. I would love it if she put Haley up, but we know she's not because she's trying to work with Haley right now. And she says she's not trying to put Haley up. So we know Mallory is going up unless something on live feed happened where Barrett showed his cards and then maybe Barrett would have been the replacement instead of Mallory. But I don't see that happening either. I'd be shocked if it did. So Mallory's up on the block. So then I want Taylor to win the blockbuster. Out of the three of them, Mallory, herself, and Drew. So that would leave Drew and Mallory on the block. Now, if all of that happened like I just said, they need to get Drew out of the house. And I believe they will be able to do that because you got Dee, Devons, and Dee, Devons, and Angela. So Dee can't vote. So it's just the two of them. And then you have Haley. That's 3. And then you have possibly Barrett. But, and the reason why I say possibly Barrett is because Barrett is close to not only Drew, but he's also close to Mallory. So we don't know if Mallory and Melody could get in his ear, and even Yashinin might do so and say, we need Mallory here. We do. Drew won something, I think, but nowhere near like Mallory. They need to keep Mallory in because Mallory will take a stab at the 3 up there. So that's why I want Mallory to stay in. So hopefully Drew is the one to be evicted. And if that's the case, that would leave Taylor, Lala, Mallory, Melody, and Yash. That is 5. 5 people to Dee, Devons, Angela, and Haley, which is 4, right? And then Bailey is on the out. We don't know where he would go, right? So if he goes there, it would depend on who's had a house. So this side of the house or this side of the house. If it's this side of the house, they got it. If it's this side of the house, they may have it if Barrett goes with them. But if they get it, it's gonna be them no matter what, because they down one with whoever get head of household, and they may be down another if it's not Barrett with head of household, or if Barrett decide not to vote with them because of what he found out about Dee, how she moved with Drew. So they could actually turn this. Now is the time for them to turn this around. I wish they would do so. But anyway, so it would be, like I said, Taylor, Lala, Mallory, Melody, Yash, and possibly Barrett. Outcasted or with the newbies in an alliance, leaving the house in their favor, 4 to 5. In 4 to 5, meaning 4 for the icons, 5 for the newbies, with Barrett outcasted, or it could be 5 and 5, 5 for the icons and 5 for the newbies. If he stays with the icons, if Barrett decides to stay with the icons. And then this is the main thing that they need to do though, y'all. At the next head of household, if the top 3 for winning the head of household is Yash, the top 2 or 3 I should say, is Yash and either Taylor or what's her name? Lala, he should throw that HOH so one of them have it. Since he has this little thing, bribe, that he has to do where he can't put them up when he gets and that will keep him from taking a number out himself. So he needs to try and keep make sure he doesn't win head of household. Now win it, of course. He can win it, of course, if somebody else that he trusts is not up for winning head of household. And when he does, all he needs to do is just put Haley, Drew, well, Drew will be gone, Haley, Barrett, and then one of the other ones that have to come up. I don't know, Melody. I would say Melody, because Melody don't win anything. Melody, you're not going home. Just tell her that. And just let that be that. And hopefully they can keep the nominations the same and then send Haley home and for sure get one of them out. And hopefully, put all 3 so-called icons up, get at least one out. And if one of them win POV, that's on the block, which is a better scenario if that has to happen. Because if that happened, then he could put Haley in as a renom. But if Haley, who's not up, wins and she takes one of them down, that means you can't put Haley up and then one of the icons are down. So you have 2 up there and just put Barrett there with him if he hadn't made a move. But even if he did, you're the last one coming into the mix. So you have to get up there. And then hopefully Barrett can take himself off the block, or it can be Angela or Haley take themselves off the block, and then they could send Dee home. I think Dee should go home first, then Devon's, and then Angela, then Haley, then Barrett, and then the rest of them could be the last 5 in the game. Yash, Taylor, Lala. Yash, Taylor, Lala. Who else? Yash, Taylor, Lala, Mallory, and Melody. And then Melody got to go, because I don't think Melody should win. I think the top 4 should be Yash. I'm saying it in the order of the people that deserve it. It should be Yash, Mallory, Taylor, and then Lala. But all 4 of that, I hope they make it to be the final 4. But that's all I have for you guys tonight. And until next time, which is Wednesday,